Jamaicans are brilliant. Some are even classified as innovators. Just ask Harlow, Maine, the winner of the 2014 National Innovation Award for the H2 Flex Hydrogen Hybrid Kit. It's a machine that technically converts aluminium, water and plastic soda into hydrogen gas to power motor vehicles. Yes, you heard correctly. And coming up in the show, we review some of the 2014 policies and programs by the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining that helped to strengthen the hands of innovators and scientists to continue producing good work. Plus, a look at two projects being developed by some young innovators at Waterford High. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Those and more after these messages.
Government health centers and hospitals have an adequate supply of paracetamols like Panadol and Cetamol to treat the chikungunya virus. Paracetamol in the public health sector is free of cost. For more on chikungunya and the medication, call the Ministry of Health toll-free at 1-888-1-LOVE. That's 1-888-663-5683. Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Good day, I'm Carrie Ann Smith, and this is your GIS News for Friday, January 16. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has declared that her administration continues to place high priority on dealing with human trafficking and particularly the trafficking of children. She was speaking with the GIS News following Thursday morning's National Leadership Prayer Breakfast held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Proceeds from the event will go to the Theodore Project in Negril, which helps youth vulnerable to human trafficking by providing them with remedial education, skills training and empowerment. Mrs. Simpson Miller voiced support for the cause, pointing out that intervention to address human trafficking is one of two issues she has consistently championed at international fora like the United Nations.
Every year when I go to the UN and speak, there were two things I always put in my presentation. One, the question of human trafficking and the trafficking of children. And then I always place the question of the United States of America to remove the embargo against Cuba. So that's very critical. I think the children are the future of the country.
In the meantime, recommendations from the country's 2014 Trafficking in Persons report will be submitted to Cabinet on Monday. The report is coming from the Public Order Committee of Cabinet. Minister of National Security Peter Bunting says chief among the recommendations is the appointment of a special rapporteur for human trafficking issues.
I believe that recommendation will be accepted by Cabinet, and that will give a sort of independent local office who will be able to assess objectively our progress and our initiatives in regard to preventing human trafficking.
Minister Bunting spoke with GIS News following Thursday's National Leadership Prayer Breakfast, which was held under the theme, Return, Reconnect, Rebuild with God. The Prime Minister read the first lesson while the opposition leader read the second lesson. The keynote address was delivered by pastor of the Calvary Baptist Church, Reverend Everton Jackson. Residents and businesses in Port Antonio will soon be able to enjoy the full benefits of the $1.83 billion Port Antonio Water Storage and Drainage Project. Portfolio Minister Robert Pickersgill toured the project this week and announced that much of the work was complete.
18 kilometers or 100% of the pipelines have been laid and commissioned into service.
He said only an additional small drainage conduit near the bus bay, which was requested in December, was outstanding. The project is being undertaken by the National Water Commission. It's aimed at addressing water supply deficiencies in Port Antonio and adjoining communities while providing supporting wastewater and drainage systems and services.
The work on the project involved the laying of 10 kilometers of new water pipelines, the laying of 6 kilometers of sewer pipelines, construction of large concrete box culverts, the laying of new drainage pipes, and the construction of 3 pumping stations.
Since work started on September 9, 2013, the Port Antonio Water Storage and Drainage Project has employed as many as 309 persons a month at a total labor cost of between $400 and $550 million. Rehabilitation work costing over $24 million is to begin next week on the Old Porous Road in Manchester. The 1.9-kilometer stretch of roadway, which serves as a bypass, will benefit residents of the area, including farmers.
It is a road that it is very, very important to those who have to travel to Mandeville, to Westmoreland. Although it's a parish council road, we take the decision that we want this one because we have to have alternative routes.
The contract for the 3-month project was awarded to China Harbour Engineering Company and Dwight's Construction Limited. And finally, the Ministry of Education, through the National College for Educational Leadership, NCEL, is aggressively upgrading the competencies of principals and senior school personnel to become more effective instructional leaders. In a statement to Parliament on Tuesday, Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites revealed that NCEL trained 1,270 school leaders last year.
Mr. Speaker, it can't be any longer that a person is promoted to the role of principal on the basis only of their seniority or some other factor.
Minister Thwaites said it would soon become mandatory for persons seeking to fill vacancies as principals to have the professional qualification for principalship. The certification is granted to persons who complete the ministry's Aspiring Principals program, which is being delivered by NCEL in partnership with the University of the West Indies. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
Motorists, know your rights as road users. If you're stopped by the police in a road check, the police have the right to ask for your driver's license and vehicle documents. If you don't have the documents on you, you can ask for 5 days to provide them at a convenient police station. If you don't have vehicle insurance, you can be prosecuted and face the court. If you fail to renew the registration license, the police are entitled to seize your vehicle. If the police wish to search your vehicle, they should tell you the reasonable grounds for wanting the search. If you are given a ticket, sign it only if you plan to pay the fine and not contest the charge in court. And please be reminded, children under 18 years must wear a seatbelt, even if they are seated in the back. Know your rights. Knowledge of the traffic road code makes it easier to work with the police as they do their job to make the roads safer for you and everyone else.
The Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining worked hard in 2014 to keep government's MSTEM policies and programs intact. Let's take a look at some of the groundbreaking achievements that took place under the leadership of Minister Philip Paulwell.
Tablets distributed to schools, electricity sector enterprise team gets to work, and information and communications technology advanced. Just a few of the platforms laid for sustainable growth in 2014 by the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining. Applying strategic measures to support a credible macroeconomic program, government continued its aggressive pursuit of low energy costs for the country in 2014.
Our growth and future development as a nation are directly dependent on affordable energy.
So the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining took steps to ensure its 381 megawatt energy project will be completed as planned. Having revoked Energy World International's license in May, in June, Cabinet appointed an electricity sector enterprise team led by Dr. Vincent Lawrence to oversee the new baseload generating plant. And by September, the team announced a 3-year plan to reduce energy costs by 30%. It includes the Jamaica Public Service Company converting 2 of its plants to provide an additional 115 megawatts to the national grid by 2015. A further 150 megawatts by Alpart in 2017 and 50 megawatts by Jamalco in 2018.
Our estimate is that the fuel savings in the country's bill will be in excess of $350 million from this exercise, and the reduction in fuel costs will be greater than 30% for the facilities.
To ensure credibility, due diligence continued in the last quarter of 2014 with thorough assessment of the proposals for viability by an independent team.
We want to be sure that Jamaica receives value for the money, and we want support of our team in negotiations with these people, the project sponsors, to assist us and have those assessments done to satisfy ourselves that what we are recommending, what prices we are settling, what the various things are the best for Jamaica.
2014 also saw an amendment to JPSCO's license. This made provision for Cabinet to manage the procurement process of the new base load generation capacity through ESET. It also allows for JPS to improve its existing generation capacity. Other targeted initiatives were in renewable wind, solar and hydro projects. In May, the Energy Ministry signed a $45 million contract with Argentinian company BA Energy Solutions for technical assistance to promote and develop cost-effective, small hydropower projects across Jamaica.
And with more projects like these coming on stream, we can make significant steps toward achieving our goal of economic energy independence and security.
Government, through its wind power plant, Wigton Wind Farm, partnered with private sector firms BMR Jamaica Wind Limited and WRB Enterprise to provide electricity to the national grid from renewables. The signing in September activated the 115-megawatt project. The quest to achieve lower energy costs continued in November when government resumed the search for oil and gas in Jamaica. An exploration license was issued to British petroleum firm Tullow Oil plc, which committed $6.7 billion to undertake activities off the island's south coast.
The GOJ, in all of this, through the production sharing agreement, has secured up to a maximum of 45% of any production over 50,000 barrels per day.
Attention was also given to energy conservation. Government removed GCT and CET from certain renewables and energy-efficient items at the port. The Energy Efficiency and Conservation Program within the public sector continued to reap success in 2014 and was extended to the public under the Ease Up on the Energy campaign. Mining remains a key plank of the local economy, and a new bauxite policy was introduced to ensure Jamaicans reap the greatest returns. It involves having no new agreements to export raw bauxite without some specific conditions.
Unless an investor commits and does invest in value-added production. And what do we mean by that? We're not going to allow you to take out our raw bauxite alone. You have to have associated with that a refinery to process alumina.
This guided the signing of a memorandum of understanding between government and the China-based firm Xingfa Group in February.
This foreign direct investment amounts to approximately $3 billion United States dollars. It will involve some export of bauxite, 4.5 million tons annually for 25 years in the first instance.
And the country benefited from the sale of its shares in Windalco to UC Rosal, resulting in savings of $3 million annually. Meanwhile, a levy concession was extended to UC Rosal for 2 years to improve operations at the Windalco Yorton plant. And big news came later in the year for the mining industry with the announcement that operations would resume at Alpart in St. Elizabeth. In the area of research, Jamaica now has full ownership of the rare earth element plant, and legislation to improve the management of quarries was passed in the House of Representatives in October. The Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining took steps in 2014 to strengthen the use of science and technology in national development. In June, Professor Errol Morrison was appointed National Director General of Science and Technology and was charged with implementing the policies of the National Commission on Science and Technology. In November, the ministry partnered with South Africa to pursue opportunities in the nutraceutical sector. Both countries also agreed to collaborate on biotechnology, renewable energy, and the use of science and technology in the proposed logistics hub. In the area of technology, government delivered another 21 community access points CAPS in 2014, giving more Jamaicans access to computer and internet services. The Tablets in Schools project got off the ground in July. By the end of the year, more than 16,000 tablets have been distributed in 26 schools. A 15-year telecoms license renewal was brokered in March with Digicel and Lime, bringing $12.6 billion into the government's coffers, while an additional $2.73 billion was realized from the sale of a 700 megahertz spectrum. Last year also found the ministry hosting another successful staging of its Digital Jam series, attracting hundreds of young technology innovators and entrepreneurs. A spin-off from this is Startup Jamaica, which was opened on September 8. It's an exclusive incubator for harnessing computer apps ideas into actual businesses through partnerships.
This project will also involve a significant element around animation and the development of the animation industry. We're going to be training more persons in animation.
Funding of $20 million was also secured for the employment of 15,000 youth in the digital and animation industries. These advancements in science and technology throughout 2014 support government's approach to facilitate job creation and stimulate economic growth while improving human capital development. In November, announcement came that a consultant was contracted to review the information and communications technology ICT sector and produce a report on the establishment of an ICT single regulator. $15 million was allocated in the 2014-2015 estimates of expenditure for enhancing the ICT regulatory environment. And to secure the ICT space, Cabinet approved amendments to the Cyber Crimes Act in July. In beefing up its capacity to deal with cyber criminal activities, the ministry collaborated with the Organization of American States Cybersecurity Experts to draft a national cybersecurity strategy. It's to be launched in early 2015 and will guide the operational and technical responses of cybersecurity experts. The Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining, securing our ICT space, enabling jobs and business opportunities, facilitating viable bauxite and nutraceutical industries, and pressing forward to achieve low energy costs that will drive growth and development.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
The Eat What We Grow, Grow What We Eat campaign continues to gain momentum in the nation's schools. And through the Science and Environmental Club at the Waterford High, many farmers and young innovators are using newspaper and plastic bottles to grow plants. It's a very good training ground. Watch this.
Welcome to another week of School Zone. I'm Tamara. Growing plants without using soil, is that even possible? Well, on today's program, find out how the Waterford High School Science and Environmental Club is making all this possible.
Let me tell you about hydroponics. It started in Waterford High, when littering, yes, it reached the sky. So we recycle plastic bottle and paper to make we farming a bit greater. But wait, it not done. When we recycle, yes, we have fun. Gather with tools and equipment, link up everybody, principal, classmates, staff and friend. That's why me say, give me water and give me paper. Pass the bucket, cause we turn farmer. Put in the seed with the fertilizer. Make sure it's clean, we don't want to dirt ya. Hydroponics, that are the mix. Dash with the soil, it is a quick fix. No land space, but agriculture.
The community of Waterford is sometimes viewed as a troubled inner city area. Yet the sheer creativity of the Waterford High School students is a wonderful example of blooming where you're planted. Their award-winning hydroponics farm captured the eyes of School Zone. So how did this project get started?
Littering was a major problem at Waterford High School. We started to recycle plastic bottles and papers as one of our major projects. Now, as an entry to the UDC competition, we started to do hydroponic farming. This was introduced to me by my brother Danian Ilton, and he told me that this is a great way to get children involved in recycling. So the project is called Urban Hydroponic Farming, using recycled plastic bottles and papers.
Talk about turning trash to treasure. But how does hydroponics really work?
Hydroponics is the use of growing plants without the use of soil. What we do, we use water and nutrients. At Waterford High School, as a framework, we use plastic bottles and a paper. We use the papers because it holds the water. When we add the nutrients, it holds the water.
The students of the Science and Environmental Club who operate the project were in high spirits when School Zone visited, sharing with us how the project has benefited them and is helping them to be more environmentally aware.
I feel very enthused about my club having this project because we have contributed a lot to our school.
Well, the canteen at our school can get scraps from it to use to cook food for us at Waterford High School. And it reduces the pollution of plastic bottles in our environment.
I feel great about it. It's so fun.
Why is it so fun?
Because we get to plant and I love plants. It is very interesting and it is ozone friendly because you can use the plastic bottle in variety of different ways to conserve the environment from being polluted by plastic bottles.
Hydroponics. Hydroponics. Yes, a long time. For dirt. Hydroponic water, food that work. Shorter land space, get bucket and paper. Seed with fertilizer, greater. Hydroponics. Hydroponics.
Crops from the bountiful buttered farm are many, including callaloo, pak choy, lettuce, tomatoes, and more. And these veggies are being put to good use.
In March, we got a lot of sweet peppers and peppers. We offer some to the canteen and the students brought home some.
Don't let land space be a problem because you can set up a simple structure in your home, on your veranda, at the back of your house, simply by using plastic bottles and paper. So don't make a land space be a problem for you not to farm.
The project has been an entrant in a number of competitions to date, including the Sagicor Visionary Competition and the Earth Day Competition. In May 2013, it was awarded first place in the Urban Development Corporation Helsha Environmental Competition, and the Waterford team members are high off their winning streak.
We are really excited about winning. We deserve it. We do a lot of work. We know that we are number one, excellence always, and the students are very excited and very into hydroponic right now.
To say that we're excited and happy is an understatement. We are really very proud of our young scientists. They have put our school on the map again, and they have made us as a school family really very happy and excited. They have lived up to our motto, excellence always, and we are proud of them.
Great work being done by the Waterford High School Science and Environmental Club. Their hydroponics farm, which is definitely impacting the environment in a very positive way. For School Zone, I'm Tamara McHale.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the hyping. You think I saw we reach a the aging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
Science is just one of the many areas in which Jamaican students excel. Another area is art. And through a number of artistic activities, adults are helping to inculcate that creative gene in the youngsters.
Feast your eyes on the artistic expressions of some of our nation's youth. Paintings, drawings, ceramics and crafts. This is the future of the Jamaican visual arts scene. Different manifestations of artistic stories expressing the thoughts, feelings and emotions of children.
Sing is my #1 favorite thing.
For the artistic ability to draw and paint, I think it's very fun. And I have lots of friends that come here.
Parents can take advantage of some visual arts programs offered on a weekend. Just one way of engaging children in an activity that's both helpful and fun.
They are more attracted to cartoons. So normally they would have stayed home and watched cartoons on a Saturday, you know, or do some arbitrary thing. So we thought this would be a nice, structured exercise for them.
Children as young as 6 years old can participate in pottery, jewelry making, painting, drawing, and even photography. Classes usually start at 10 o'clock and end at 1 p.m.
They essentially learn about art, learn about using art techniques, and actually see examples all around them. Sometimes we can move the workshops to different parts of the gallery depending on what themes or the techniques that we're looking at. And I think that's probably the advantage of having a workshop here as opposed to the regular classroom.
We're sowing the seeds for their future endeavors. The expression of creativity can unlock so much. You know, it is so satisfying for them. It's a lot of fun. They get to do it. They make new friends. They come with their friends. And I think they have a fantastic time. And of course, it's always a learning process.
I am here to learn and do a lot of things that if I grow up and I don't get a work, I know I can have a work here. I'm here because I like to do art and I'm very creative. And I liked art since when I was like 2 years old.
I started coming here, I think from grade 6. And at first it was because of my mother and she kept forcing me to say it was a good thing. So I started coming here and I liked it. I like my teachers. I like what we were doing and I'm learning.
I love to come here because I met a lot of new people who I like to hang out with. We socialize together, work together, learn from each other different things. It's just like a big family.
Uncle Dwayne is my instructor. He instructs us the nice things and we love him. He's a nice instructor.
We'll take up the dirt and we move it over it a little, put it over the container, move it over it a little bit, and then we have our spiral.
FUN. That's the word used to describe all the visual arts activities the children are involved in. And the reason? There is no pressure.
We do not look necessarily for talent. We are concerned with showing the children a different way of looking at things. Everybody has a right to express. Everybody has their own approach. Even though you can teach methods and techniques to them, but at the end of the day, it's really up to them. And we show them a lot of appreciation for what they've done, and it really does a lot to their confidence.
And if you're still not sold on the idea of giving your child the opportunity to uncover his or her inner artist,
it is free of cost. The materials are free, everything is free. The the instructors are very competent. And just come and do your thing, you know, and just experience art on a different level as opposed to just walking and standing in front of a painting.
Remember,
art is part of our daily lives. It interacts with everything that we do. And is there anything better? Really?
That's how we close today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for spending time with us. Hope you've been inspired to unleash that creative talent and help uplift our nation. While you do that, please continue to send your feedback on our social media platforms. You may also browse our website, jis.gov.jm, and watch this and other shows on our YouTube channel. I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you to be wise, stay cool, and do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.